the dog's dinner. Tiddles curled her tail around her and wriggled to a more comfortable position. She was in her deluxe faux fur donut-hooded snuggle bed, which her people had bought for her birthday. Well, that was what they thought, but being only people and not cats, they appeared not to understand that cats considered themselves to have 4 birthdays a year, 1 for each season. This 1 birthday a year nonsense was clearly something they had made up to shirk their responsibilities as cat carers. Owners was not a word Tiddles ever used or forgave. The bed was comfy enough, but she felt there was something missing. She did not feel absolutely and totally satisfied. Could it be the temperature? No, it was pleasantly warm with no draughts. Could it be the noise? No. There was the mild susurration of a light breeze in the leaves of her favourite tree just outside the window. But that was all. Was it hunger? No, not exactly. She had eaten a light breakfast and a good lunch of meaty rabbit pieces in jelly, but it had satisfied rather than excited. Yes, that was it. She was becoming bored by the range of dishes being presented. It was all nice enough, but was nice enough good enough for a cat of her majestic pedigree? No, it was not. What could she do about this, though? Her people were biddable enough, but they did not speak more than a word or two of cat. Dictating a shopping list was certainly not going to work. Of course, she could go hunting, but that involved a lot of effort for a very meagre outcome in food terms. And then there was fur and bones and general yuckiness to contend with. No, hunting was about the thrill of the chase, not food. Then she heard a yapping from next door. Baxter the dog who lived there was shattering her peace with his incessant barking. Tiddles roused herself from her basket. There would be no rest now, so she decided to take a look at what all the fuss was about. Through the lounge, the kitchen, the cat flap, and in a few bounds she was up in her tree, with a good view of the next-door garden. Baxter's man was holding a bowl up and chanting "Good dog" to Baxter, who leapt and yapped excitedly. The bowl was eventually set down, and Baxter leapt on it, gobbling up its contents greedily. What sort of animal would subject itself to such a pantomime for a bowl of food? A dog, that's what sort of animal, thought Tiddles. Having spent a few moments reflecting on what inferior creatures dogs were, she paused. He was certainly very excited by what was in that bowl. It must taste really good. If something was that good, shouldn't she be eating it? Well, of course she should. A plan started to form in Tiddles' head. Dogs, she knew, seldom ventured out at night. She was not sure what they did instead, but a nighttime raid was too risky. What dogs were well known for was being walked. Yes. She would wait until Baxter was taken for his walk, and then... The next day Tiddles reasoned that there would be food put out in the morning, just as her people did, but that the walk would be done before he was allowed to eat it. This seemed sensible to her, so she decided to proceed with her plan on that basis. Tiddles waited on her windowsill. As soon as she spotted Baxter being taken for his walk, she was up and out and over the fence. There was a flap in the back door similar to hers, so she pushed through and into the kitchen. There on the floor, in the far corner, was a mat, with 2 bowls set out, one with water, one with dog food. She approached cautiously, one softly placed paw at a time. She sniffed at the bowl of brown chunks. It was not that appetizing. Surely it would taste better than it smelled. Lowering her head into the bowl, she took a big bite. She coughed, she spat, she hissed. It was revolting. It was the worst thing she had ever eaten, and she had eaten spiders. She heard footsteps coming and darted for the flap in the door. It wouldn't move. Baxter's woman came into the kitchen and took in the scene at a glance. "Oh, aren't you a pretty pussy? Oh, come here, darling." So saying, she scooped Tiddles into her arms. The indignity was completed as the woman turned into the hall and the man returned with Baxter. "Oh, look at this," said the woman. "Next door's little pussycat is pretending to be a dog. I expect she has been very taken with Baxter Waxter. Isn't that right, Diddums?" The door was still open, and with a mighty leap Tiddles freed herself from the woman's grasp and shot out of the door at full speed. She ran home, drank as much water as she could manage, and retired for the rest of the day to the dark recesses underneath her people's bed.